So the next one's from Matt Moore.
Yeah.
Matt Moore, and the subject is leg slaps. What's up, guys? Day one listener here. First off, Disco is a man of his word and took great care of me when I was a Sapphires in February as I followed protocol. I've watched wrestling for over 30 years. The biggest problem I have with the product across the board is the blatant leg slaps. I'm sorry to see even the guy who is taking the punch kick form slap his thigh when getting hit. Conan, working as closely to town as you do, what do you tell them about these egregious leg slaps? Keep the great content coming, guys. Matt from the 423. That's Chattanooga, Tennessee, by the way.
Bro, I hate that. It's fucking brutal. And the thing is that you get so many. Here's a problem you're having with wrestling now. Before any guy came into a big company, he was usually like in the territories for about 8 to 10 years. So he came in with a lot of experience. Now what you're getting is you have so many people. It's so easy to get into the wrestling industry. You have a lot of untrained, semi-trained, badly trained wrestlers coming in. Of course, there's well-trained ones too, but there's a humongous amount that's just not ready, and they're coming in with all these bad habits, like slapping their legs for every single thing, and it's very hard to get rid of.
That's true.
But Shawn Michaels never fucking slapped his leg when he did the super kick.
And if he did, he hit it. Like, you couldn't see him just blatantly just... People literally do this when they slap their legs. They bring their arm up and slap it down on their leg. Like who can't see that? It's like the dumbest thing.
Slap it down.
Yeah, I said seriously. That's what they do. It's like, guys, it's like,
can't you a new onomatopoeia?
Yeah, I'm like, come on. It's like, then that's the biggest problem in wrestling today is that we basically fast tracked a bunch of new moves into the business. Okay, and wrestling's very artsy these days, and like if you look at the way people lay out matches. They try to come up with this new, different creative spot, or like a takeoff of one they've seen and everything. But the problem that usually required for these things is the guys have to work with each other to do it. And since they just want to do it and don't really practice it, they don't hide the cooperation and the legs. They don't hide anything. So everything is like blatantly out in the open, and like you see them in the middle of this.
I'll give you an example of that. Back in the day, like if you wanted to talk to somebody, you got him in the corner or you got him in a hold and you put your head down and your hair would come over your face, or you'd hide it in a way where you couldn't. Today, they're just talking out in the fucking open. I'm like, bro, people do see you. Part of the fucking
at least learn to like not move your lips or something.
Right.
Talk with your teeth for it.
Part of the art is people not knowing that you're talking, that you're in on this, even if they do know now that it's no longer like they used to try to sell it before, like it was real, but at least let them be able to suspend disbelief. And you don't do that when you're talking fucking out loud and they can hear you in the fucking first row.
You know what it's like? It's like we grew up learning a way where you kind of have to protect the business. And it's like this new government regulation came around. They took away the protections. So now everybody just goes out and just does everything. Because like nobody's really being trained to protect to try to hide stuff and like hide the cooperation. People that like they really aren't even learning that. And like learning how to do all these moves.
And I'll give you an example. Like before, especially in Mexico, you had to they would get like old school wrestlers and you would have to pass a test. You would have to go through them for them to give you a license to be a wrestler. But now, with so many wrestling schools and people trying to make money and getting in and out, they're not being trained properly.
Right. Well, perfect example. But this is the biggest polarizing thing on the in wrestling last week is that big angle at the end of AEW where that guy was doing the shitty punches.
Did you see that, Felicia?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody saw that. Everybody saw that.
That was.
And like, bro, it was horrible. And it's like the whole thing should have been like, yeah, that was horrible. That guy shouldn't have. Bro, the guy would be fired. Like a guy his work is that bad, they just wouldn't bring him back. So now the whole thing was like this big narrative and stuff. And instead of like the narrative being the way it should have, that was the shits and they turned into a thing like, oh, this guy's like the victim now. And it's like, people are saying bad things about him. He made a statement. It's like, and bro, in 2019, that just shows like when wrestling, we're having the wrong conversations. Like that was a big story, and everybody chimed in on it. Everybody like was polarized and stuff. And the reality is pretty good shit. That was terrible. That guy shouldn't be on TV.
The guy who,
and it should just stop. That should be the end of the conversation. But now it's like hey guys, that was me. I was just trying to protect us against. It's just like all this, like, oh my god,
that wasn't,
please, will you?
Disco, that wasn't him. That was a false confession.
It was a false, yeah, because I predicted that the person that did it was Shark Boy.
That might be true. That might be true.
I think that was. He had a
so
mask
who was
on.
the guy under the mask? Did he ever
we don't
find
know.
out?
We don't know. Nobody knows. But
Yeah,
the guy
they're not gonna out him, but see, it'll
No,
come out.
no. You know what you find out?
Yeah.
They're keeping it secret, but like they use like some of the guys that were on TV earlier in the night that they put them in massive. But what if it was Marco Stunt?
it could have been Tony Khan.
Or Tony Khan, right?